My name is Todd Andrews. I've been in the military, in the Navy. I have been a fireman. I have worked on machinery. I'm hoping my experience will be the one thing that helps me the most.
My name's DJ Morgan. I am 22 years old. I've been a farrier for 3 years. At a young age, I was in foster care, and I didn't really have many people to talk to. I had a horse. I'd go out there, I'd sit in his feeder, and I'd read a book to him.
My name is Sam Troxel. The major thing that I'm nervous about is not knowing what we'll be working on. But the nervousness means you have fear, and if you know that you have fear, then you can overcome it.
My name's Derek Romer. I started forging out of necessity. 8 years ago, I lived in a yurt out in the backwoods of Oregon, and I was doing repairs on gardening implements so that I could grow food and feed myself.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. You're here to engage in 3 timed rounds of edged weapon-making competition designed to push you to your limits. At the end of each round, you'll be presenting your work to our panel of expert judges. These are the men who decide which of you will be our next Forest and Fire champion and take home that check for $10,000. Let's meet them now. Up first, 2-time Forest and Fire champion and fan favorite, Ben Abbott. Historic weapons recreation specialist, David Baker. And last, edged weapon specialist, Doug Marcaida. All right, gentlemen, on your anvils is a cloth. Go ahead and lift that up. In the first round of competition, you will be making signature blades in your signature style from these slices of elevator cable.
A giant chunk of elevator cable. What the hell am I gonna do with that?
Your blades must fall within the following parameters. The length of your blade must be between 9 and 12 inches and include a through tang. Keep in mind that in the second round, you'll be attaching handles to those blades to turn them into fully functional weapons that will be tested for strength and durability in a copper pipe baton chop and for edge retention in an apple slice. You will have 10 minutes to work on your design. You will have 3 hours to forge your blades. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your time starts now.
I think the biggest thing is getting started on these is to get that cable welded up on both ends and twisted tight.
The type of knife I'm designing is a basic skinning knife, very utilitarian, very simple. Just make a knife that you feel comfortable with. I look at the future and I see myself winning. I don't see myself losing.
I have not worked with elevator cable, but there's a lot of properties that I learned in the past that will help me out. I'm choosing a Tonto-style blade. It's a long, thin blade, and I have only a small amount of usable cable in there to make it a knife.
What do you think of this cable?
It works pretty quickly, but not with stuff that's this dirty. All the cleaning that needs to be done individually, otherwise we're gonna have a lot of inclusions.
It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm super excited for it. My plan right now is to make a Bowie-shaped knife. The Bowie knife is my go-to blade.
I need to make something that is a good slicer, but it also needs to be able to wang on a copper pipe. So what I'm designing is a variant of a Thai-styled knife called a narong.
How in the world is Derek gonna use that sledgehammer? That's long. I'm gonna get it like this.
Secure your cable, gentlemen. Your 3-hour forge time starts now. First round of this competition is as much about problem solving as it is actual forging. We've given you an odd-shaped piece of steel, but how you turn that into the blade is entirely up to them.
So you gotta twist it to unravel to clean it on the inside and then go back in and tighten it up again, right?
Once you get it hot, twist it tight and make that weld set.
My game plan is going to be keep it simple, move forward in a logical manner. I'm just gonna take it apart, trying to figure out exactly how much cable I'm going to need. One piece of cable is not going to be enough. I put 2 pieces in the forge.
A smart move on Todd here to reduce the use of metal that he has.
I'm going to straighten the cable out, and I'm gonna start getting it forge welded, and I'm gonna start getting it flat so I can deal with it better. I'm very happy with it.
My game plan, first off, is to get that bundle of cable broken up into smaller strands. It's greasy, it has to be cleaned.
So Sam's actually grabbed some cleaner.
So you gotta get that oil off, or that can actually be inclusions into your steel once you get your pattern done.
Sam's steel looks great. It just looks piddly. There's not a whole lot of it there.
I want to make sure that that cable is staying together as tight, as bundled as it can.
If Sam can do the forge weld, it's a nice strategy because it does start with cleaner metal.
My game plan is to burn off the oil and whatever nasty is in there.
Now you can see there's a lot more flames coming out of his forge. Why is that?
The one thing we didn't see from DJ was any big cleaning of it. That's all that grease burning off.
Burning the outside and scrubbing it, it's not enough to do so because you gotta get inside the strands.
And he certainly doesn't need that entire piece of cable to make a blade.
I'm gonna get my cable nice and hot, get it as tight as I possibly can. At that point, it'll start to forge weld.
When I do cable, I weld both ends. That way it can't come apart.
Now you can just see all of those little pieces coming off.
It's not welding. I'm very stressed right now. What did I get myself into?
My plan is to cut that chunk of steel down. It's a huge amount of steel. So I have to weld the end shut. I have to get each and every one of those little wires to weld up properly. Otherwise, you get pretty horrible delamination that will spiral through your blade. You gotta get flux all inside that bundle and avoid oxidation.
Oh, there you go.
I'm actually very glad that this isn't my forge because I'm gonna flux the crap out of this thing.
The forecast today is flurries of flux.
Forge welding multiple layers of steel is a very risky process.
So he's managed to get both of those pieces welded together. So he's back to a nice sized billet. Once he starts drawing that out, he should have plenty of material.
When the metal starts to move, you go into like a Zen kind of mindset. You become probably one person within yourself. It's like a runner's high, almost. I'm in my zone. I'm gonna rock this thing.
Bladesmiths! 1 hour has elapsed!
I come up to a problem. I see that my billet at this point is too thin. Okay, I know I have to cut it in half and forge weld it back together. I weld the two pieces together, and I'm off to the forges again. There's no pocketing. That tells me I have a knife in the running.
How's it going, buddy?
Going good, and you?
Not so good, but I'm gonna keep going with it.
Keep it up.
I am super stressed out. I cut this open with the chop saw, and nothing is welded.
DJ looks like he's not even working with as much material now.
I'm just grabbing whatever usable metal's left, and I'm welding it together. I need to put my flux on it, get it back in the forge until it gets up to the heat, and then try to push it together. I don't have too much more to work with. I used and ruined a lot of other cable.
All right, DJ's heading over to the press right now.
If I can't get this forge welded, I am about as much as out of luck as it comes.
Oh, there he goes.
If I can't get this forge welded, I have no more material. I am about as much as out of luck as it comes.
All right, DJ's heading over to the press right now.
Oh, there he goes.
It looks like DJ managed to get a weld.
Heck yeah, I finally got something to stick. Is it going? It's sticking. All right, man.
DJ seems to be pretty happy with that, so.
Yep.
I do see that there are some defects and delaminations. I feel good about having my pink fullering tool because that allows me to push any sort of defects out as far as I can, clip them off.
How many tools did this guy bring? He's got his own hammer, he's got his own fullering tool.
He's got chainmail mittens.
This is my fig bucker. I like it because I can hit things really hard with it.
There it is! Stuck!
Forging allows me to solve my problems by setting stuff on fire and then promptly beating the crap out of it, and I love that.
Bladesmiths! 2 hours has elapsed!
I realize the shape is almost there, and I don't really want to keep messing with them, so it's time to quench.
Todd just put that knife into the quench oil.
There's no warpage in it. I'm cleaning the blade up, and there's an occlusion at the end of the blade that magically appears from nowhere. I'm running out of time. I'm not really sure I can get everything done.
I'm going to the grinder to shape my blade. When I'm grinding off, I'm seeing inclusions. These may not be cracks. These could just be the way that the steel is forming. It's now back to the forge. We gotta harden this puppy.
Sam, it looks like he's setting up for an edge quench.
You know, with a lean blade like that, doing an edge quench is a good idea. You're gonna have a soft spine, a hard edge.
You want the back to be soft, because if you do the whole blade, that's where you can get a knife for splitting in two, basically. By using the torch, I'm gonna heat up the edge of the steel at a different temperature than the back of the steel. Pull the blade out, and it's straight. I'm looking the blade over. I do have a few inclusions. I can't do anything about that. We're at the end. It's done.
DJ had a lot of problems getting his steel together. How does it look, Doug?
From the looks of it, it looks like a solid piece.
I know the blade is starting to look like a blade now, so I'm getting ready for the heat treat. If you do it too hot, even if you drop the knife on the floor, it can crack. I'm hoping my heat treat goes great because I'd have no time for an error.
Maybe nothing but cracks at this point.
I am worried that I might have cracks.
Victory!
There you go.
All right.
It's in one piece and it's straight. I couldn't be any happier.
We still have one smith that needs to quench, and by the end of this round, I would really like to see those blades acid edge. And that way we can see that pattern.
The main operations left are to go through heat treatment, and a lot of things can go wrong. If there were any delaminations, it could just blow apart in the quench. I pull the blade out, I take a quick look at it, I don't see any cracks. I don't have much time to grind, I still have to etch.
2 minutes!
I gotta get this in this acid bath. I can't get the edge cap off.
Come on, kid, you can do it. There you go.
There you go.
Don't mind me.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, shut down your machines, drop your tools, pull your blade out of that acid. This round is over.
I wouldn't say I made the prettiest knife, but I definitely made a functional, usable blade.
All right, Bladesmiths, the first round of competition is over. Now it's time for the judges to take a closer look at what you've done. Todd, you're up first. Please present your steel to the judges.
Well, Todd, first off, I like the trailing point that you have here. It feels like definitely a blade that likes to slash. The only concern is that there's a little bit of some delaminations on the side of the blade here, but at least it's on the side and you can grind that out. Ouch. But overall, solid work. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, DJ, please present your work to the judges.
Well, DJ, you had me sweating in the beginning, that's for sure. That cable was kicking your butt, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple small delaminations. There's a one here at the edge, and then there's some at the spine that doesn't look very deep. There's a lot of mass here, though, so there's a lot of room for grinding. After all of that impediment you started with, you turned in a solid blade.
Thank you.
All right, Sam, you're up.
This blade, it's already just smooth as can be. I really like the prep work you did to get this done. The concern I have is this spiral delamination of that one wire that runs around and around and around. And I don't know how deep that runs.
All right, Derek, please present your blade to the judges.
Well, Derek, I like the shape of your blade. I think it's cool. On the blade, there's a bit of a warp. But on the tang, there's a lot of a warp. I mean, you can see it. There's a lot of tang here which puts you in a position that you can do anything you want with the tang.
All right, Bladesmiths, you've heard the judges' critiques, but I have to get their final decision. So while we go into deliberation, please step off the forge floor.
Oh, guys, here we go, huh?
Yeah.
All right, judges, our bladesmiths have turned in their work. Let's get into the details. We're gonna start with Todd's blade.
I like Todd's shape. You know, it's solid. You can see how it gets fat towards the tip, and he's kind of lucky that that happened because of that delamination. He could, just by grinding on that one side, get that delam out of there.
Let's move on to our next bladesmith, and that is DJ.
DJ put in some good work. If you look at these delams, you can actually see them fold over the back, but you don't see them travel down the side of the blade, either from the edge or from the spine, and that's a good thing.
Let's move on to our next bladesmith, Sam.
When you look at Sam's blade, it mimics the way he was working out there. Very cool, everything was controlled. You can see the beautiful patterns here, but if you follow the lines, it all leads to cracks. And we're gonna say, well, maybe he can grind them out. No, this is thin because he's been grinding on this. I don't think any more grinding is gonna fix it.
Let's move on to Derek.
His steel looks pretty solid. I don't see any major delaminations or anything like that. It is heavy, though. There is a slight warp in the blade that I think can be mitigated with some grinding on this side here.
Doug, have you made your final decision?
Yes, I have.
Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Ben?
Yes.
Let's go tell our smiths. Bladesmiths, in the first round of competition, we gave you the challenge of using twists of elevator cable from which to forge your blades. But for one of you, the ride stops right here on this floor. Sam, your blade didn't make the cut.
Sam, your blade had those spiral delaminations going all the way along it, and they would need to be ground out. However, your blade is already about as thin as we'd like to see it. It's for that reason we're sending you home.
Sam, please surrender your blade.
I definitely agree that the judges made a good call on that. Most likely, there was something in the steel or something I put into the steel to cause the delamination. I've learned a lot. I definitely don't feel good about it, but I feel that not all learning experiences are good.
Bladesmiths, congratulations. You've made it into the second round of this competition, and now that those blades have been tempered, it's time to turn them into fully functional weapons by attaching handles to them. Now, in the first round, we gave you twists of elevator cable from which to forge your blades. In the second round, we want a twist in the handles of your blades. You must include a spiral handle in addition to a guard and pommel on your blades. You'll have 3 hours in this round. At the end of this round, each of your weapons will be tested for strength and durability in a copper pipe baton chop, and for edge retention in an apple slice. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 3 hour starts now. So we threw him a twist in the first round. In the second round, we want a twisted handle as well as a guard and a pommel. So these guys have a lot of work to do here. I think the most work has to be done by Derek over here. He's got a big, beefy, rusty blade right now.
Yep.
I survived, but I have a load of work to do. I want to correct the warp on the tang before I remove meat on the tang.
Correcting a warp is potentially disastrous. To ensure I don't crack the blade, I wrap it in a whole bunch of wet paper towels because that will absorb heat from the torch. As long as I keep that heat right where I need it, it will not crack. I will not crack this blade because I know what I'm doing.
Trying to accomplish a butt guard, a scrolled handle, all of the corrections that the judges wanted. I'm not really sure I can get everything done in 3 hours.
What is the RPM range on these things?
7,600 RPM. The circumference is pi d, so 8 times 3 is 24. So 2 feet every time it turns 1. That's what, 15,000 feet per minute.
You're getting math on me. Stop it.
I've never made a spiral handle before. The material I'm working with, bone, it's a little forgiving. When the impact of the chop happens, hopefully I won't have my guard or my pommel pop off. I'm giving my best shot, and I'm gonna move forward.
I want to get my handle put together before I start to really work on my blade. So So I have time for glue to dry. So my plan is to have a threaded tang so I could tighten it down and make everything super tight.
Why is this thing not going on?
My guard is just way too loose. It's just not going to work, so I have to start over rather than try to salvage that one. A loose guard might crack the handle, might just fall apart. But I'm a little behind as far as time. It's better than the last one, but still loose. Doesn't fit as well as I would like. But I'm going to use it anyway.
Bladesmiths! Half the time is gone in this second round of competition.
Starting to feel the time crunch. I want to grind this off, get it sharp, and getting the butt cap on is a piece of cake. The weld heats the epoxy too much, and the whole butt cap lifts off. And my epoxy's catching on fire.
Oh, that don't look good.
No! So I welded the butt cap on, right? But doing so, the heat caused the butt cap to come loose. So there's about an 1/8 of an inch gap. So I just shoved a whole bunch of super glue in there. Fill that gap. I think I got it. I need to get this pinhole drilled, but ironwood is really brittle, so I could split the handle right now. This is gonna really suck.
So threading my tang is not working. I decided to just glue my handle and weld the butt cap onto the tang. But I have too much glue in my handle, and my tang is not fitting.
DJ's scraping the epoxy off in case it dries too fast.
I'm trying my best to keep calm, and I re-add adhesive to it.
DJ just took the black section of the epoxy and just poured it around the gap at the top, just the black section.
Oh, yeah.
As if
It's
that
harder.
would,
It makes things harder.
yeah, you kind of need them both together. It doesn't dry.
Oh,
Kind of ever.
no wonder.
I have to make sure that I have enough etching time. A knife looks so much better with the edge etched. It's what I want, it's what I like. I pull the knife out of the acid, and I see a very tight woven pattern. That's exactly what you want. When you're gonna go through the testing, you wanna make sure that your knife is as tight and as close together as you can get.
There is like 5 minutes left, and it's not sharp. I don't like doing my final sharpening on a belt grinder.
What is Derek doing now?
Shut up. He has been wearing all day a tungsten ring.
I know that this is tungsten carbide. I know that pull-through sharpeners are generally made of some form of carbide. So I create a simple improvised pull-through sharpener.
So this guy has taken his two rings, put them side by side in the vise so that they're touching, and he's using the gap to sharpen his blade.
I see hairs. It's sharp enough. I did it.
So far, I got the twist in my handle. For what I've got going on, I think I'm sitting pretty good. I'm trying to grind my hand safety into a better design than just a rectangle. As I'm pushing it onto the grinder, it spins. It is loose. I'm screwed.
2 minutes!
My stomach drops. If my fit is not tight enough, I'll get disqualified. Quitting is not an option. I'm gonna pass out, or someone else is gonna tell me to stop because I do not quit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This second round of competition is over.
One concern of the judges I didn't fix entirely was the occlusion at the tip of the blade. I think the tip of the blade isn't going to be used at the testing. I've done what I could do, and now it's up to the judges.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the strength test. To test the strength and durability of your blades, I am going to be bashing your knives with a baton into these copper pipes, mercilessly. Remember, this test is all about what the pipes do to your blades and not what your blades do to the pipes. Todd, you're up first. Are you ready?
I am.
Excellent.
I'm starting to sweat pretty hard. I'm hoping he doesn't swing hard, but Ben's not going to hold back. He never would. It's going to be rough.
Well, Todd, we've got 6 edge deflections here. Each side of the pipe took a little nibble out of your blade, but it all stayed in one piece, nothing broke loose, so good job.
Thrilled.
DJ, you're up.
Hit it with all you got. When I see the damage that has been done to Todd's blade, I'm very nervous. If his looks like that, I wonder what the heck mine's gonna turn out like.
Well, DJ, your blade held up relatively well. There's a little bit of deflection here at the blade, but there's a big problem. This is some brittle handle material, and
Oh boy.
it's still sticky. When you were mixing the epoxy, I thought for a minute that I saw you just putting in the hardener and without any of the epoxy itself.
DJ, we cannot continue with testing with your blade. However, this weapons test is not over. Derek, your blade has to survive all 9 licks against this copper pipe. How you feeling right now?
Do it. I love destructive testing. I still have to get through this test. So the same thing could happen to my blade because I was light on the epoxy, or my blade could shatter. DJ's blade failed. It's absolutely not over yet. I still have to get through this test.
Derek, your blade has to survive all 9 licks against this copper pipe.
So let's do it.
Derek, unfortunately, you suffered a catastrophic blade failure after only 5 strikes on the copper pipe. You cannot continue with testing, and for that reason, I have to ask you to please leave the forge.
It was so great, yeah. I might have heat treated a bit hot. I was in a real rush in round 1. I think I did the best I could in the time that was given me. I was kind of stressed on the floor, but truthfully, it was wonderful. I loved it.
Todd, DJ, congratulations. You've made it into the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Landsknecht Sword. Created by Emperor Maximilian I in the 15th century, the Landsknechts were a deadly mercenary force armed with pikes, swords, and crossbows. The most battle-proven Landsknecht mercenaries were armed with massive two-handed swords. These imposing blades featured parrying lugs above the guard to deflect enemy attacks. Earning double the pay of their peers, these garishly dressed swordsmen of fortune would rush headlong into enemy pikes in an effort to disrupt their opponent's formations. Today, you can see the Landsknecht Sword in the hit mobile strategy game Dominations. Download it today to participate in an exclusive Forged in Fire event. Blade parameters are as follows. You must have 2 parrying lugs leading to a guard. The length of the blade must be between 34 and 36 inches and must be at least 2 inches wide. You will have 5 days at your home forges in which to complete this blade. At the end of those 5 days, you will return to this forge and present your blades to our panel of expert judges. And only after they've tested the twisted hell out of them will they declare one of you the Forged in Fire champion who leaves here with a check for $10,000. Good luck, Bladesmiths. We'll see you in 5 days.
Good luck to you, brother.
Yes, good luck to you too. It's the beginning of day 1. I have never made anything like this, but I'm excited. Let's do it. My plan today is to start to draw some of my material so I can have a better idea of how long I'm gonna be able to make this.
That is gonna be a long one.
Me not using any power tools, I do believe that it's going to cause me to be more fatigued, but this is forged in fire. It's not power hammer and fire. I'm done with day one. My hands are pretty sore. I'm going to go and probably ice them so they're good to go for tomorrow. Heck yeah, good first day.
It's day one. The weapon that I've been challenged with is a Landsknecht. It's a big, huge German word. I want to work on some of the accessory pieces first. One of them will be a cable Damascus. The Damascus guard is going to be the centerpiece of the whole sword. I don't weld the end of the cable. I twist it. Everything's looking really good. Aye. Just come apart right here. From here to here. Not a good thing. Let's see if we can fix it. I give it a twist. And disaster has struck. It has come apart in 4 different places. I'm very beside myself. I don't know what to do. All this time has gone by. And disaster has struck. I'm looking at the piece. It has 5 to 6 separations. That's a heartbreaker. So you know what you do with that. Mic drop. You move on.
My plan right now is to draw the line and then cut the lugs out. I got my measurements wrong. So right now my overall danger is me cutting this, not having enough steel in the middle to stretch out to over 2 inches. I'm gonna be somewhat narrow in the middle, but luckily I'm thick, so I should be able to spread it out. 2 steps forward to go 50 steps backwards. Forged in fire.
Today is quench day, the monumentous day. A few concerns: I have to keep the blade at an even heat, and I have to be able to hike myself up to get inside the quench tank. Tall order. Pun intended. That forge is just too small. I'm still not getting the color I need out of this blade. Just not gonna get there. I think I'm just gonna have to go for it. Oh, it's not even close. It's about as hot as it's ever gonna get. I don't think I'm gonna get a second shot. There's no pings. I'm still not sure if it's hard enough. Wow. Remarkably, the file sings. It's hard. Rockin' and roll, baby. I'm rocking this thing.
The plan for day 4 is to get this thing quenched. Yesterday was a pretty rough go. The horseshoe is gonna end up being my guard. Since I'm a farrier, I figured a handmade concave shoe would look pretty slick. Cool. Now I'm gonna get my blade a couple degrees hotter than what I would want because of the trip between my quench tank and my forges. The Sword of Flame, that's what I'm gonna call it. I had to overcome a lot of obstacles, but all in all, the quench went pretty good. It's heavier than I would like, but it's strong enough I don't think it'll break. Woo! Done with forging!
It's day 5. Dun, dun, dun. I feel I can get the blade accomplished in the time I have left. Pommel, handle, fit, sharpening. I'm so excited to see this sword go into the challenges. Okay, so now it's time to do a weigh-in. Survey says 8.2 pounds. I can live with that.
Todd, DJ, welcome back to the Forge. You've both had 5 days at your home forges to work on your Landsknecht swords. Todd, tell us about your blade.
It's constructed out of 5160. The handle is traditional materials of wood with wrapped leather, and the pommel is assembled with a traditional peened assembly.
DJ, tell us about your blade.
It's made out of 5160. I got a horseshoe for the hand guard. Used mahogany for the wood handle. It was a hell of a build.
Well, gentlemen, each of your blades will now be put through a series of 3 tests. There will be a strength test, a sharpness test, and up first, the kill test. Doug?
Bladesmiths, the 2-handed German Landsknecht swords, a big sword, so we're expecting big damage. I will take your sword and deliver slashes, thrusts, and chops on this wild boar carcass. Todd, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's do this.
My biggest concern is the quench that I did. That's the make or break moment of every weapon, and I'm not sure if it was hot enough. My sword could break.
All right, Todd. First up, your handle construction. It's comfortable to hold on to. You have a very thick and wide and stout edge, so it's a chopper, not a slicer. The big issue I have with this is that it's a heavy sword. But despite its weight, it will kill.
Yes.
All right, DJ, it's your turn. You ready?
Yep.
DJ, let's talk about your sword here. It's even heavier than the other sword. The tip you have over here is wide. The first thrust went in, the second one couldn't, and I tried. The one thing it did was break its back. A thrust like that and a broken back like that will kill.
All right.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test. To test the overall construction of your blade, I'll be both stabbing and chopping into the steel plate. All right, Todd, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes. DJ's blade did almost as much damage because his basically almost broke it in half just by hitting it. Mine didn't hack it as much as it should have. There's too far to go to really make a call.
All right, Todd, you took some pretty good rolls. These rolls are fairly deep, but it held up. Nicely done. All right, DJ, you ready for this?
Yep. Oh, Lord.
All right, DJ, this weapon is heavy. Look at that balance point, so far forward. Keeping that tip up is brutal. You've got a really, really super stout edge, and honestly, it held up quite well. There's some rolls here where it connected, but the weapon's still solid. It's a strong blade.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, your blades are still in one piece. Now let's see if they still have an edge. To test that edge, I'll be cutting through this cane. Todd, you're up. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hear that?
It sings.
It's like a tuning fork. All right, Todd, so let's talk about your singing sword here. You definitely have a sharp edge here. Sharp sword, made good cuts. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, DJ, you ready?
Are you ready? It's a big one.
I'm ready.
Going into the sharpness test, I'm already really nervous and worried. Being told already that my blade is fairly dull, I'm not thrilled. All I can do is sit back and let him swing it. We both passed the kill test. We both passed the strength test, and now it just comes down to the sharpness test. All I can do is sit back and let him swing it.
I can run my finger along that edge. On the first cut, as soon as I hit the dull part, it just starts pushing stuff over. Did a good job putting it together, but it's just not sharp enough to cut.
Todd, DJ, you've both done an incredible amount of work to bring these massive swords back for our final round of competition. But there can only be one Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is... Todd, congratulations. You are the new Forged in Fire champion. DJ, unfortunately, your sword didn't make the cut.
DJ, due to weight, balance, and edge geometry, from kill to sharpness test, your blade was just outperformed. And it's for that reason we have to send you home.
All right, DJ, please surrender your blade.
My biggest regret is I should have spent more time on the edge. I did my best, and I didn't want to build something that was going to snap, and I definitely did that.
Todd, congratulations. You are the new Forged in Fire champion, and that is a title that comes with a check of $10,000. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Please present your blade to the judges.
I'm a little surprised. You know, it's still like a surreal kind of thing. I've proven what I've come to prove, that I'm capable, that I'm still skilled, and I'm thrilled that I was up to the challenge. I feel so good I don't know how to feel.